Hey, welcome back to the channel. We're back on the ocean and we're gonna try to get this paddle up. I'm feeling really good today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell for all my upcoming videos, because I have a feeling we're gonna get it today and then we're gonna just try to keep improving, and you want to keep up with all the improvements so that you can learn and improve along with me. But I was looking at old footage and just seeing my technique and just trying to figure out how I can improve on what I've already built on. I'm at that point where I'm kind of porpoising, but I'm still not able to get up on that foil. And I was looking at old footage, and I was looking at some guys, outriggers that were just paddling, and looking at their technique. And really what they're doing is they are really extending way out. Like, their arms are extended and they're not really bending their arm. I mean, the power with the paddle is gonna come through these big muscles in your back, your lats, your core. So what I'm gonna try to do today is I'm really gonna try to get that extension where I'm reaching as far forward as I can and pulling more with my lats and my big muscles. So I'm engaging my glutes and my legs to initiate that pull. But I'm also going to be doing a little bit of a crunch to initiate that paddle going into the water as well. What I've also noticed is that paddle, let me just get the paddle. Well, I've noticed this before, but I've been really thinking about it. So it has an angle, right? So this angle is really, the further out that you reach, the more pronounced that angle is. And as you push down, you're actually lifting the board and yourself up and forward. So you don't even have to pull back, you just push it down, and that is going to get you propelling forward and up. So the whole point of this angle is, the lighter you are, the less friction that you're going to be putting on the board and in the water. So what does that equate to? Speed. So we want speed. This is like we're trying to fly on a wing. So when we're taking off with a plane or anything like that, we want speed on that runway before we can initiate lift, or you're going to stall. So what I'm trying to do is I'm really reaching out and I'm pulling like this and using the big muscles. I'm going to try not to pull so much with my arms, and really use those big muscles to get that paddle efficient. The other thing that I was looking at was four-legged animals. I think I mentioned this before in some of my other posts, but four-legged animals, what is the sequence of them going faster? And I was thinking, okay, imagine you're a four-legged animal and the front legs are the paddle and the back legs are your hind legs. So what you want to do is you want to first get that paddle into the water as your front leg, initiate that acceleration, and then kick with the back leg, and then recover as quickly as you can and get that paddle into the water and start that front leg motion before you kick with your legs. So just look at some footage of some cheetahs, I don't know, even some animals running uphill, like a bear running up a hill, and you'll really get to see what I'm talking about, of how to try to get that, of getting that paddle in the water first, like a four-legged animal would initiate their running with that with their front legs, and then kick off their back legs. And then I'm gonna really try to work on that timing of doing that, and then also increasing the sequence or the rhythm of what I'm doing. All right, I think that's enough babbling for now, and let's try to get on the water. By the way, I've been still rehabbing my shoulder, my back, my left knee, and it's coming along really well, and hopefully that's going to help me stay injury free and be able to really torque on that paddle and get that good kick. All right, let's do this. another thing that I'm going to be trying is I have an adjustable paddle, and I've been on the shortest setting, so the paddle's been just below my height. It's about here, and I'm finding that I'm not able to really get the extension that I want. So today I'm actually going to be adjusting it 2 levels longer, so it's it looks like it's about 4 inches longer, or about 7 centimeters longer, to really get that extension of that paddle as far forward as I possibly can on my when I'm reaching out, to really try to get that board going up and forward, really trying to utilize this angle of attack. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is just get some paddling in, a little light paddling, and then some light leg work, and then we'll try to put everything together. The water is not the calmest today, but we're gonna have to try to make it work. So I'm gonna go out this time a little bit, and I'm just gonna get the legs engaged. Oh, you know what I've noticed? So another thing I noticed is my my stance. Before, my stance was quite closed, and I had my feet, I don't know if you, on the board. So if this is the spine of the board, I had my feet with my heel on the spine of the board, and my front leg was a little bit closed off, and I found that as I'm pulling, it was pulling me to the toe side, just because in order to go straight, I was having to do a J curl and really reach to my left to go straight. And so every time I would pull and try to do that J, I was going toe side a little bit too much. And I've seen some other guys doing stand-up paddling on their foil, and their stances were a lot more open. So I'm going to try that today. I'm going to open up my stance, so if this is the spine of the board, my back heel is going to be on the board, but my front foot is going to be more open. So I'm not only going to put the ball of my foot along the spine, and then I'm also going to open up my foot to about 45 degrees. And that way I can reach out easier without having to go across my body so much. I felt like I was going across my body a lot more. This way I can reach forward a little bit more, and also I don't have to reach to the left as much, which was just throwing me off balance. So with my stance adjustment and a little bit of the paddling adjustment, I'm going to be able to hopefully reach further forward more and maintain balance.
Alright, now that my legs are kind of warmed up, let's see if we can just kind of get some good paddles. But I'm really feeling the difference with the longer paddle and opening up my stance. So it's all about adjusting the technique, and while I'm paddling, I'm going to be thinking about the sequencing of getting that paddle in the water, doing initiating that paddle, and then kicking at the end of the sequence, and then bringing my paddle back into the water quickly, kind of like a four-legged animal. I'm really trying to visualize that. So when we're talking about the flat water paddle up, I don't know if this is a flat water paddle. Seems pretty choppy out here. Fortunately, the way the scheduling works, you just gotta go when you have the time. I'm beginning to feel the sequencing. That open stance, I've actually narrowed my stance a little bit as well to just get the pitch balance right as well. I feel like all these little ripples, you can hear them as the water comes up on the shore. These aren't like waves with long sets, it's just like really short little ripples, and I keep getting hit either from behind or I'm catching some of these little ripples, and it's affecting the pitch of my board or the wing, and it's throwing me off balance. So I've narrowed my stance a bit, so I'm keeping it wide still in terms of, I mean, I'm keeping it open to allow me to reach out in front, but I'm actually narrowing my stance to control the pitch of the board a little bit. That is, it's a little choppy. Hopefully it settles down a little bit. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good, like I'm getting that sequencing and the changes, these little adjustments with the paddle, the reach, and really visualizing the animal, the four-legged animal, where the paddle is the front leg of the animal and the back legs are back legs of the animal. I'm trying to get back to my roots, man. I mean, you go back millions, hundreds of thousands of years, we're on all fours. So I'm not suggesting you go run around on all fours outside, but if you kind of want to get a feel for what it is, just look at animals, and I really think that the sequencing is very similar to a four-legged animal. Yeah, the balance, getting the balance is tricky. You stand up and the waves will hit you from behind. Wing me off balance. But I'm getting it. I'm gonna really try to incorporate some ollie style kicks. So back to the skateboard reference, is getting that big kick with the ollie. The hard part is then, as I get that big ollie kick, I'll really want to recover quickly with the front legs or the paddle, get it into the water to get that four-legged animal sequence going. I'm going to try to incorporate some bigger ollie type kicks with my back legs. I don't know if you guys caught that because of the angle, but I was actually flying. I could feel the foil was engaged. I was flying, but I ran out of room. So water's coming this way, kind of on an angle. So I think I might have to adjust the camera so that I'm going with the water coming to shore. Because if I go on an angle, it's just throwing me off balance more than I want it to. So let's move the camera. All right, and we're in the sun. So I'm gonna come more in a direct line. One thing I've also noticed is when I'm ollieing, I want to keep my weight forward as I jump. As soon as I start leaning back, I could really feel I'm losing speed. So the key is to, as I kick my back legs, and I'm moving my arm forward to get that paddle into the water, I'm keeping my weight forward. I'm always trying to drive forward. It's similar to the dock start and just pumping with your legs off of a dock start. You want to keep your weight moving forward. You need speed. You need that momentum to keep you going forward. Same rule applies with this. I'm finding I really have to keep my weight forward. Not so much that I nosedive. That's the hard part, is with all these little ripples and everything, is really making it tricky because it's really messing with the pitch. So as I'm doing every single paddle kick sequence, I'm having to navigate these ripples behind me and control the pitch. If I can time it properly, I actually feel when there's a ripple behind me giving me lift. Maybe I can catch one of those guys. All right, let's try this. Yeah, I felt there that the swell was helping me. I'm running out of room. It's interesting, this is day 8, and I don't know, feels like we're progressing like a soccer team's numerical positioning. So anyone who plays soccer knows, like, the number 1 is the goalie, and then you move from your defense to your wing, or the wing backs, the central defense, midfielders, and then you have your striker at number 9. Well, we're at day 8, so I'm kind of like the midfielder that controls the tempo of a football match. And yeah, maybe that's what today is. It's all about establishing that tempo, that sequence of the paddle and the leg kick, and then maybe the next time out we'll score a goal with number 9. I don't know, I'm just playing around with numbers. Anyways, let's keep going. We don't have that much time. I'm gonna give it all. I'm gonna give it my all for the last 15 minutes before this battery runs out. I was flying. Did you see that? I was flying. So I caught it. It's on camera, so it happened. I felt like I was flying, but I ran out of room, so I had to stop. I also felt the little push from the swell behind me that helped me out. But we were flying. But I feel like I gotta get 3 leg pumps without a paddle to make it official. So once I start flying, I gotta do 3 unassisted leg pumps while flying to make it official. Well, what do we got? 48 minutes. Let's do this. All right, I ran out of room again. Feels like as the water gets shallower, it's easier. I'm getting more lift. I think what it might have something to do with as the water goes into the shore, it's coming underneath to go back out, and that might be causing my foil, because it's getting close to the bottom of the water, it's causing lift because you're getting that undercurrent going over my hydrofoil, which is assisting me with my lift. Oh man, we're getting close. I'm really finding that the extended paddle, so I've adjusted the length 2 notches longer, and it's really helping me reach forward. And I've opened up my stance even more, and I've narrowed my stance more. So a couple things I felt maybe with all these little ripples with a wide stance, it was causing way too many pitch issues for me. It's easier for me to control the pitch with a narrow stance, especially because the sequencing is so fast, and I want to get the paddle is in the water a lot more than not, so that helps with the balance. So a whole bunch of little micro adjustments being done to control the balance. All right, it's 56 minutes. We got a couple more cracks at it. Let's do it. But I've also noticed that the water's calmed down, so this might be the perfect time. Oh, all right, thanks for sticking around. It's kind of like an unofficial takeoff. To make it official, we got to do 3 pumps with just the legs. We're close. I don't know if you've noticed, I can feel it though. My endurance is getting better just because spending more time out in the water, so I'm not expelling as much energy trying to balance and all that stuff, and the technique is adjusted, so I'm getting way more thrust and torque out of a longer paddle, more extended reach, opening up the stance a little bit so I can reach forward more. So all these little micro adjustments. And next time I think I'm gonna go to a different location where there might be a dock, so I don't have to worry about running out of beach or water if I'm starting to take off. All right, well, thanks for sticking around, and tune in, because the next one, man, the next one, place your bets. I can almost guarantee we're gonna get 3 leg pumps in. All right, we'll see you out on the water.